Okay guys, Omar here from my point of view, and today I will give my point of view at this 2016 Jeep Patriot. Turn off the lights here and let's go ahead and get started. Key still in ignition, and as you can see, this is the base of the base. You got to roll down these windows. Believe it or not, you can still get a car in 2019, probably 2020 as well, with roll down windows, but I am in a Patriot, just like I said, 2016. So just a little information about the Jeep Patriot, because I am a little interested as well. Production was from 2006 to 2016, and it pretty much looks the same throughout the whole 10 years as this was in production. I can't really knock it for styling, because it pretty much stayed in cube with the signature of Jeeps during this time. Hey, no complaints here. So this is actually considered a compact SUV. Inside feels more like a subcompact SUV. For the drive position, which I'll get to in a second, it's pretty nice. This is, like I showed you earlier, the base model with those roll-up windows. There's also a lot of extra features that's not included in the vehicle that you would think would be standards. But this is, when I say this is base to the base, as you can tell. Now, if you guys know what a Honda Pilot is, I think a 2007 model year, 2008. At this angle I'm holding the camera right now, it does look like a Honda Pilot, just a tad bit. Those tail lights and the rear window or the side rear window, the whole body style looks pretty much similar. But I do like its boxy shape. I really do. I like how in the back it's completely flat. I showed you the outside. Let's go ahead and go on the inside, shall we, real quick. So a little bit about me is, as you guys may know, I am 6'9". And yes, I do have my trusty little seat cushion with me. I'm actually going to just take it off for the side real quick, and I'm going to talk about the seats. You can recline it back and forth like so, and you can scoot it up, but you can't push the seat down. So the seat is kind of pretty much fixed in place. Now, for some of my height, it is kind of comfortable, weirdly enough. I have room. If only I could put the steering wheel up just a little bit more. As far as it could go down, and can't push forward and back on it, just go up and down. One thing I've noticed, I had this car for about 2 days. One thing I noticed is there is no lock buttons on this vehicle. Nowhere to be found. Hopefully, I've looked everywhere for here. So if you want to lock your door, obviously you just have to push it down. That being said, you have to lock each individual door manually before you go out. This is already locked. And again, if you just unlock it, if you want to unlock the door, you just pull the handle and it becomes undone. Obviously, from the inside, you can't just pull on the outside and the door's unlocked. That won't do. I really do like this idea, the concept of having just a base, because now today we have a lot of 2019. We have a lot of rear view cameras, which comes in handy. But we have like the Honda Accord and the Civic, lane departure and lane keep assist and forward collision. If you want just a car, I mean just a car, then this is pretty good. And since we're in a world where SUVs are booming, you may be considered for a used SUV. So this Jeep kind of comes into mind. So everything is really basic in here. Here's the stereo. You have your FM and AM satellite radio, which that's pretty good, pretty neat that you can have satellite radio. You have the disc, because you have your CD right here, an auxiliary right here, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is the same. Climate controls, and you have an automatic gearbox. And I'm gonna go more about this manual transmission right here, because this is pretty good. This works pretty well. So let's go ahead and get it started real quick, shall we? Now, since there's no lock buttons on the door or anything, you just have just a normal key. Here's the key right here. It says Jeep. See if you can see it a little bit. There you go. Now, I don't like the way how the whole ignition system feels. It feels really outdated, that little part right here. Nothing wrong with having a key ignition, but still. Now, when you start the vehicle, occasionally you'll feel the whole engine to shake the whole car, as if the engine mounts is kind of a little weak. You do hear the engine just a little bit in the cabin. It's not as loud as you would expect. So you have your headlights right here. Currently it's off, no auto. Turn on to your little daytime running lights. And then you could just turn on your headlights. And then the high beams. The air conditioner is pretty nice. And when you close this vent, I like the way the vents close on these Jeep models, or any car that has this little feature right here. It's completely closed and I can't really feel any air. I can't feel any air going out the vents. And I have it on the max as it did right now. It's not as loud as most air conditioning units are. We have on full blast, and I have a full blast on the front face as well, not the two-way. I've noticed that when you have the air conditioner on, like some cars, if you turn on the air conditioner, it would kind of reduce the power of the engine. This one just keeps on going, and I get to the engine into a second. You really don't have that much storage space here. You just have your cup holders. That's my trail mix right here, just the peanuts. It's in the sandwich bag, but I just throw it in here. And so this is like a large cup, and here's like a medium-sized cup as well. Got that from Chipotle. Then you have your armrest right here, which you can adjust forward and backwards. You have a top part for the armrest, just a little storage right here. Close that down, and then you can just lift this part up right here as well. It's a decent amount. Actually, it's not really a lot for a compact SUV. You have a little storage right here. You can put some like napkins, or if you want to put your phone right here. I have put my phone while it was on the auxiliary cord, and it stays in this little pocket area. It doesn't really jump around a lot, so I do like this little feature in this Jeep Patriot. Glove compartment is kind of small. Yet again, this is a small car, small SUV. Now, 6'9", I do have actually plenty of headroom. This is me sitting up all straight, and I have, I'm not sure how many inches right here, but I do like the roof panel right here, and I'll show you more on a different camera. But I have plenty of headroom, and apart from the leg room as well, I'm using my front camera so I can really tell what I'm showing you guys. Just imagine how much more headroom I would have if I was able to adjust the seat properly. But headroom is pretty good. So if you're 6'5", I'm pretty sure you have enough room in here as well. All right, and the footwell, well, you got enough room to put like a pizza box. I'm not sponsoring Pizza Hut, but I just got to eat in it. All right, so let's hop in the back real quick. We're gonna turn off the vehicle, turn off the headlights. Now, I'm not gonna bother sitting behind myself, and I think I locked all the doors. As a matter of fact, yeah, I did. So let me go ahead and just unlock them real quick. All right, so checking out the back seats as I get in. I had to duck down quite a bit. I got the driver's seat, excuse me. I had the passenger seat as far as it could go, and of course I have leg room. And again, I just love the texture of the roof. You got plenty of headroom just for everyone. I'm not for sure if the Patriot came equipped with a sunroof. Obviously it will affect the headroom from the passengers, but this base model is pretty good. All right, so let's check out the trunk, and I believe I locked the trunk earlier. Nope, I did not. So you have to lock the trunk with the key in the back if you want to have your vehicle secured. And this is where you kind of could tell it's kind of a small compact SUV, but yet again, you still have some pretty good storage in here. And underneath this little panel right here, you have your spare tire. So the spare tire is available even on the base model. Some vehicles require you have a higher trim level just to get a spare tire, but this one comes equipped with it on the base of the base. All right, so let's talk about that engine real quick. I'm going to go ahead and start it up and let you guys hear the start once again. Pop that hood underneath this little P. This hood is heavy. Oh my goodness. If you ever see these at a used car dealership, just lift up this hood. This thing, you can get a proper workout with this. My goodness. Now with the hood up and adjusted, I can show you the engine. It is a 2.4 dual variable valve timing. Produces 172 brake horsepower. It is made to a 6-speed transmission. And this model is front-wheel drive, and all-wheel drive is optional. Okay, it's time to go for a drive. So after about driving this car for about a day or two, it doesn't take long to get a proper feel of this vehicle. Even this small car, the turning radius is, let's see if we can make it back in here. Wish I could measure it properly, but I'm back in the same spot as well. So the turning radius is, let's do it again. That's a pretty good turning radius for a compact SUV. But that is pretty much all I can say good about this vehicle. The powertrain isn't so bad. It is noisy, and the transmission works well. But yet again, this example has 24,000 miles. I'm not for sure how the older models, before this pre-facelift version happened in 2014, appear, how those were. This 2.4 is optional. Standard is a 2-liter engine with 152 horsepower. That's not turbocharged or anything, nor is this engine. Pretty sure you guys can hear the noise, the road noise, the tires, and all that stuff. Surprised you don't hear the engine as you're driving along, even on highway speeds. As I was cruising around like 70 miles an hour, without the cruise control, I wasn't able to hear anything from the engine. Just a lot of road noise from the tires, and a little wind noise as well. This rearview mirror is just plainly in my view, so if I had the option to put it down, I'm pretty sure my driver experience would be better, but right now it's kind of terrible. Even with the headroom and the leg room, which I have for a compact SUV, this is pretty good. I'm just not able to see out the freaking windshield. One thing I do like about this car is the windshield wiper fluid, the way it sprays onto the windshield. I like the way it just sprays this jet all over. It's kind of clean. So right now I'm gonna put in this manual mode. What you do is you just push it to the right once you're in drive. I'm in first gear, put it to second. It changes gear pretty quickly. And once you want to disengage from manual mode, you just hold to the right, then you're back in drive. And once you're in manual mode and you're in fourth gear, you come to the red light like I just did, it'll automatically go into first gear for you. I'm not for sure if you can see the indication of the fourth gear, but I am still in fourth. And if I just put my foot down in fourth gear, normal cars with the manual option will downshift for you. But this car will stay in this gear that you told it to stay in, which I find pretty neat. So now I'm doing almost 3,000 RPM and still in fourth gear. And if I floor it again, it stays in fourth gear. Now, I didn't go much about the stereo in this car, but the audio quality, again, is just what you expect when you see this vehicle. It's very fair and basic. If you turn the bass up too much, even with the treble, like at the half point, you still hear the plastic rattling, just like cheap bass type of a sound. If I had a choice between getting my old 97 Blazer back or driving this, even though it's a little modern, without hesitation, I'll try to get my Blazer back, because this thing is something else. You really need to do your research on what you're really looking for and what other vehicles are in this class. Because even like a slightly used Mitsubishi or a Nissan or a Chevrolet would get you something pretty better. Even a Honda, obviously. Really don't understand the appeal of it. Only thing that has gone for it is the looks. But this car is kind of a doable thing. But yet again, like I stated earlier, I do have that Blazer vibe on this thing. So I have respect for it, but that's pretty much it. So in closing, this car is really below average. Like I said, good parts about this car is the headroom and the styling. The headroom is good, but the styling, it may not be your taste. So everything else is just fair and slightly below average. It doesn't do good gas mileage, and handles decent. You have good turn radius, but that's pretty much it. This is someone's first car. You give it to an 18-year-old with 208,000 miles on it, and it's just a hand-me-down. This is the future I see for this vehicle. And that's all I can really say, sadly, but that's just my point of view. However, within those 201,000 miles, this is how car enthusiasts are born. So can't really knock it. That's how I started with my 97 Blazer. 300,000 miles ish. I don't remember the exact mileage, but yeah, it makes you appreciate vehicles more. Give this to a car enthusiast, and he or she may get something out of it.